Once upon a time, there was a man. The man and his wife had been working the fields and raising cattle for many years. And they had been living honestly. But they had not been able to save any money, and their lives had not become any better off. Every day, at dusk, when the day's work was over, the man would sit at the gate of his house, watching the people passing by and thinking about how he could earn more money. One day, as the man was sitting still at the gate in the evening, thinking about where he was going, an old man passed by. "What are you thinking about so deeply?" the old man asked, and the man raised his head, looked at the unfamiliar old man, and answered with a look of pity. "I've been working really hard for a long time. But my life hasn't gotten any easier. Every day, when I finish work, I sit here thinking about what I can do to make things better." The old man then smiled and said, "What's that? I don't think there's anything worth worrying about." The old man looked at the surprised man and said, "That's the path. If you keep walking straight down this path for 3 days, you will come to a place with a big tree in the middle of the path. Then cut down the tree with your axe. Then your wish will surely come true." The man suddenly stood up, shouldered his axe, and started walking down the path. On the 3rd day, he continued walking day and night. Sure enough, he came to a place with a big tree in the middle of the path, and in desperation, he swung the axe he had brought with him with all his might to cut down the tree. After a while, the tree was cut down with a loud noise, and 2 eggs fell from the tree at the man's feet. The egg cracked and a bird came out of one of the eggs. The bird suddenly turned into a big hawk and flew over the man's head, saying, "You helped me. I'll give you the gold ring in the other egg. This ring will surely grant your wish. But you can only have one in your lifetime. Think carefully and make the best wish you have." The man took the ring and headed home. He stayed at an inn on the way. And when the innkeeper saw that the man had a beautiful ring that didn't match his outfit, he asked him what it was, and the man told the innkeeper everything that had happened. Then, of course, the innkeeper wanted the ring so badly that he exchanged it for a ring that looked just like the man's, while the man was asleep, and sent the man off as if nothing had happened. Then, when the innkeeper entered the room, he shouted, "1,000,000 gold coins!" at the gold ring, and suddenly it started raining gold coins from above. The sound was so loud that it drowned out the sound of the innkeeper shouting something. And the weight was so heavy that the floor of the inn gave way, and it was completely flattened. Hearing the sound, many people gathered to see the inn that had collapsed again. But when they saw the huge number of gold coins, they all started to rush to collect them, causing a huge commotion. Then, when the commotion died down, they found the innkeeper dead under the collapsed floorboards. Meanwhile, the man returned home, and told his wife about what had happened up until that point, and spent the whole night thinking about what he should wish for. His wife said, "Then why don't you pray that the field in the back be expanded a little more?" The man replied, "What are you talking about? If that's the case, I can make it mine in no time if I work a little more." He worked hard as she said, and after a year, the small field in the back was completely large and wide. Well, isn't that great? You only have one in your lifetime. You can't do anything about it. But you just have to ask for something that you absolutely cannot do anything about. The man's wife again said, "Pray for more cows," but the man scolded her, and after another year of hard work, He turned a few thin cows into many cows. They worked so hard like this that before they knew it, they had become the richest people in the village. But the man still sat in front of the gate every evening, carefully turning the gold ring on his finger as he watched the people passing by. And the people would politely greet the man who was now the richest man in the village. And then one day the man died. Those left discussed what to do with the gold ring at his funeral. But the man's wife had died a while ago. And now no one knew what the ring meant. Every day at dusk he would sit in front of the gate and turn this ring. I'm sure it holds fond memories for him and his wife. Let's put it in with her. And so the people put the gold ring on the finger of the man in the coffin.